From Hemingway to Picasso, cafes have been the birthplaces of some of the greatest ideas in the world. But what makes artists and writers flock to them? Today, we're going to dive into the secret of why coffee and creativity are such a perfect match. But let's start with a personal story. When I was in Helsinki last year, I frequented lots of cafes. And I found quite a few that I really liked. One of them really became my favorite cafe because of the art installations. I'll never forget there was this photograph of a mother and daughter underwater holding hands. And it's so hard to describe because when you look at art, when it speaks to you, it's a feeling. And it's really hard to articulate it in words. But that photograph just spoke to me. And I grabbed a cup of coffee. I looked at the photograph. And I started writing a script of an idea that had been in my head for a long time. And it all felt right. So what is it? Is it the coffee? Is it the art? Is it the company? Let's start. One, coffee is shown to increase focus. You're more alert, you're able to focus on something. And so for an artist or writer, that's a great place to be, to kind of slow down or tune out everything else and have that focus on one thing. Because if you're a creator, you very well know that you have tons of ideas competing and you're pulled many directions. So if coffee helps you to actually quiet down all the other things and focus on that one thing that you're working on, that's a conducive place for you to do so. So coffee can help with that, right? You're more alert, you're more focused, hence that's great for the creators. The other thing is, cafes are usually really nice places. They're decorated nicely. There might be music playing. There are some plants, some, if not art on the walls are painted nicely. It has nice furniture, nice lights. So it is this comfortable, cozy environment where you can relax. Now, people, and this is interesting, are around you in the cafe. And there are two elements to it. There is that solitude that you can just sit by yourself, uninterrupted, yet surrounded. So you're not lonely, you're not home, you're not working from an office or some random room. You are surrounded by people, but no one is asking you for something or interrupting you, or most of the time. So you have that solitude to just think to yourself. On the other hand, often we go to a cafe that we know. Why do we do that? We're creatures of habit, you'd say. But it is because of the connections. You go to your local cafe, you know your barista, you know the server, you know some of the locals, maybe your neighbors or coworkers happen to go there. You can have these small interactions that recharge you. And again, for a creative person, I think having those is conducive to the work. Quite often you might have an idea and you talk about something else like the milk in the coffee or weather or whatever it is that, let's say, your barista is telling you. And it unlocks something in your mind. And then, that creative idea you had finally comes to place. Or it is something that you just happen to talk about, who's sitting next to you, and it kicks off this whole inspiration. I think there's so much to it, and one day I'd love to do a whole documentary, feature-length documentary on this, because I think the phenomenon is amazing and so complex that it's worth exploring. But for now, I wanted to share my thoughts with you, and I'm really curious, what do you think? Why coffee, cafes, and creativity is a perfect match? Thanks for watching, and see you next time.